Alrighty folks, so here's an update on our Biscayne here, and as you see I got the upper windshield trim for this thing finally, and still not quite sure how it halfway installs here. I know some of it has a channel that goes, it's kind of like 57 Chevy, 55, 6 and 7 Chevy. It's got a little piece of trim here up underneath that little lip there. Has to go in between the windshield and the windshield seal itself, but it looks like it fits pretty good. The only thing I can't quite figure out yet is it's got this end piece here that looked like it might have had a screw in it at one time, I'm thinking, but I'm not sure on that. And I was trying to look around, see if there's a screw hole somewhere through here. I'm not really seeing it, so I'm not quite 100% sure on that. I'll have to look on I got the shop manual for this car now, and I got the assembly manual, and I have the owner's manual. I got an original shop manual from when this car was new. It didn't go to this car itself, but it went to the similar kind of car, so I have all that. So I have to look into it a little more, but you could see, I mean, it's definitely got to be the right trim. So you can see the mark on there too. Make this a little focus here. See the mark here where this trim was on the same kind of car where it would have went down like that. So not quite sure how this piece right in here, it had to have a screw in it, so maybe the screw broke off in our roof here, and maybe that's what I'm missing here. I'm not quite sure, but man, it looks like it's right. It has the correct contours and everything. So it looks right. It's supposed to be for a 4-door Biscayne, or the El Camino. I was looking up, the El Camino and the hardtop uses different trim, but the lower trim is the same. But it's supposed to match this body line here, but it's got this old rubber in here. I don't want to force nothing that's kind of in the way, and you can't really, don't want to force anything, but it will work. Focus here. So we do have the upper windshield trim here, so that part's good. And of course I got all the lower trim too. I got all them pieces, but I think it'll work. I just got to figure out, I know how this installs here as far as going in the windshield channel. So we flip it over, we got this little channel here. We look at it, and there are no good videos on YouTube about this at all, but you can tell this was off an original car because it's got the original glue kind of caulking, I guess you'd say, and that's what was in this car. This is the original windshield too. Of course it's busted, unfortunately. That still burns me up, but anyway, this has got the original caulking, that same kind of style. There's a little bit of it right there. Focus here. There's a little bit of it right in here, but it's no hole in there whatsoever for this end piece. So maybe what happened was when they pulled the trim off to pull this windshield out to cut the dash out of it, maybe they broke the screw head off, I'm guessing. So it's got to be something up under there, something I'm missing there. But anyway, this part here, it goes in between the put your windshield in first. Well, you got to put your trim in. I'm wrong about that. You have to get your windshield seal there / rubber. You lay it out, get it nice and warm on a nice warm hot day. Lay it out, let it stretch out, and then you got to figure out where the middle part of it is so it lines up correctly. You figure all that out, and once you figure out where the middle is, right in there, it's all one piece of rubber. But in reality, you're trying to figure out, because it's formed to fit the sides here and all that, and all the contours over body lines here. But you find the middle of it, you line it up with the bottom, and you line it up with the top so that it centers everything up. That's what you're supposed to do. I mean, I might be wrong on that. It might not matter if you just, some windshields, it don't matter how you put the rubber in, you just put it in, that's it. But from what I was reading, you got to center it up so everything lines up the way it's supposed to be. And then once you do that, sit in the sun, and you put your trim on it. So this trim on the top here has to go in with the windshield at the same time, is what it looks like. So the lower does not matter, the sides don't matter at all. Those you just put on after the windshield's installed. But this upper piece here has to go in with their windshield channel here, or well, rubber here. So it's got that little lip on there like it. So that has to go in. That's the way that's made. Pretty sure on that. So it's kind of like a 55 to 57 Chevy. It might even be a 58 too. You can't find nothing on 58s or 9s or even 60s. But anyway, but it did come in. It looks like it's correct here. I'm just not 100% sure on how these fasten down. So I have to kind of look into that a little bit. But I'm going to straighten this lower piece up here. This piece, like I mentioned before, we're going to straighten it out because it's darn near perfect. It's got a little kind of crinkle right there, but see, that'll all straighten up. And it's got a little bit bent right in here, but the rest of it is perfect. It's got the piece that slides up into this one here. These are just screws. That's the only thing holding this down. So there's the original one right here. It's got a clip, and then it's got a Phillips head screw in it. That's all I got to do to get these off. Now I'll probably have to go in there and we'll take like a cloth rag and put over this. I'll probably have to go in there and drill every single screw out. But here's another one right here. So it's just got screws. Yeah, see, there's 2 screws right there. Look like somebody started to get it out. Yep. There's another one. Get the focus here. Yep, there it is. So there's one screw here. There's another screw there. So they took these out, and that's how this holds this down like that on both sides, and it's all the way around the lowers like that. So the lower you can put that on last, and the same way with our trim here on our sides here, they can go on last too. They just got screws holding them on. Somebody started to get them all out, but didn't finish it. It's only got one screw holding this one on, and they started to, but they stripped it out. So just one screw. And I don't want to break anything or anything like that, because we don't want to mess nothing up. But I just cannot. I'm not 100% sure on that. I figured it would be a little hole where to hold that trim down a little bit. And then we got clips. We might be missing clips because we got holes up here too, all the way down. So it must have had clip trim. It must have popped down in the middle is what it looks like, with clips in it. And it had to go inside the windshield channel there. So you can see. Trying to find a good spot here. So here's the original windshield caulking there. Right in there. Yeah, here it is. Yep. Yep. See, the trim, there's a channel, what's remaining of it. The channel, that trim sits down in here. That's what it looks like. Well, no, it might sit up here. Yeah, I'm wrong on that. Actually, it sits right up here. Yep. Sits on this top channel here, all the way down, and I think it's got clips. So that has to be installed from what it looks like. Now I might be wrong here, but I might be wrong here. I might be wrong there, but I had to shut the door there. But it looks like I mentioned there, that it installs. You put your windshield seal on first, and then you put the trim in. So that's what that looks like. Actually, put your other way around. You put your trim in, your seal for your windshield, then you put all of that together on the windshield, and then you slip the windshield in. And then you just use rope to do it very carefully. The biggest issue is pulling these sides in. You got to be very careful about that. But that's what that looks like. But anyway, I have it now, and that completes all of everything. Of course, we got to get a windshield yet, but that completes everything up to here. So now we can concentrate on getting this front clip straightened out. Like I mentioned before, I have a radiator support on the way. It's not perfect, but it's a decent original radiator support. We might be able to take this one and take that other one and maybe piece together one good one. So anyway, I got that on the way, and then I do have the driver's side door on the way too. I found a really nice, not perfect, but it's a really nice straight driver's side door here. It's got all the hinges and everything in it, but with all the holidays coming up, it's just hard to get things kind of shipped out. So anyway, I waited on that trim for almost about 3 weeks, so I got that now, and it looks correct, so that'll be good. But yeah, we got our door. That's supposed to be coming. Hopefully that'll come after the new year, and then we'll get this radiator support. And then the feller, he has a, like I mentioned before, he's got a good valve. It's not perfect, but it's a whole lot better than this one. That one's actually usable. But so he's got that. I'm gonna see if I can buy that too. It's a little pricey though, so I might wait. But I like to get that. And then I still got to locate the windshield wiper trim pieces. That's the only thing I'm missing. So I got to find the nut, and it might be a washer there, and then it's got the actual chrome piece. That's what goes on top of our cowl here. And I have the cowl and all that too. So I got to find those few little trim pieces there. And those, it's having kind of a hard time on that because those are slightly different. On 59 and 60, I think are the same, but they're slightly different. I mean, I'm sure you could use 55 or to 57 ones, but I want 59 stuff if I can get it. But a lot of people think a 59 and a 60 car, I mentioned that before too, are the same car. No, they are not. In fact, they are an entirely different car, completely. Just because they look at the wings on the back makes it look like the same car. They have nothing in common at all. Nothing. Everything is different. The only thing that is actually similar on a 59 and a 60 Chevrolet is the dash and the seats. That's it. The dash is the exact same. The steering column is the exact same. The steering column, brackets, all that's the same. So everything on the dash end is the same. And the seats are the exact same. The floor pans are the exact same. Firewalls are the exact same. But all of your outside sheet metal, your roof is the same. But like I said, all of your sheet metal on the outside, your fenders, your hood, quarters are entirely different. You can't take a 60 door and bolt on this car. It might physically bolt on, but it's not gonna, the body, it's not gonna be right, because on a 60 it's more, the fenders, instead of being round like this 59 here, are more kind of flat across, the best way to describe it. And then the wings, what I call them, on the back are nothing like this one. Everything's completely different. Even the lock cylinder for your trunk lid here, that's completely different on a 62. Instead of being in our tail panel here, it's actually, they moved it to the trunk lid itself. And then it's got more of a, the wings are curved, more kind of flat a little bit on each side. And of course they got different tail lights and all that, but yeah, they're completely different. But anyway, but yeah, I can't believe people think a 59 and 60 is the exact same car. They're not. Now the frames are, the seats are, the dash is, pedal assembly, all that, but everything outside is entirely different. But anyway, so I got the trim for this, so that completes all that. I got to get our chrome pieces for our wipers and get the 2 nuts and the 2 washers. I believe it's 2 washers there. And then just got to trying to find the correct chrome pieces to go on it is going to be the fun part. But I got to get that, and then hopefully once we get our door and our radiator support shipped out, that'll bring everything up to this point. So that'll make everything complete. And then, like I said, I'm going to get that valance here. I already got the hood latch piece here in the plate. The hood latch itself still works, so I'm going to salvage that, get that out of the car. or get that out of that latch mechanism here, and I'll take my time getting that apart, and we'll save that. We're going to save the grill. We're going to save the 2 trim pieces here and here, but our valves is going to go. We got to find our lower valves too. So I got to find them, and those are ridiculous. People want a crazy amount of money for them. I can't believe they want that crazy amount of money. Thank God the rear one on the back of this car is still good. But I got to find that yet. And then our headlight buckets, it's kind of a mess there. But they're rotting all to pieces, so they're going to be a little challenging. But anyway, now it makes it nice because now we can focus on the front of this car now. And once we find our wiper chrome pieces, I believe they're chrome. Yeah, I actually think they are. Then, you know, we can finally come up here and concentrate on this area of the car. And then that's when I'll probably, you know, get our valves and all that. And then I'll start trying to find our lower valves underneath our bumper here, because mine are intact, but they are completely gone. So they are rotted to pieces. So I got to locate them, and then I am going to try and find better headlight bezels for this car too. And then hopefully I can find some headlight buckets. I see that one's fairly intact. This one, I might have to take my time and take them all off. It actually still has T3 headlights on this side. They might work, they might not. It's hard to tell, but don't really care either way because I'm not going to use them anyway. A lot of people, you know, I'm not picky on stuff like that, where it's got to be, oh, it's got to be T3 headlights. It's got to be T3 headlights. You know, then you're paying a couple $100 for crappy lights that aren't that bright just to be original. To me, it's not very smart. You know, it's not worth it to me. I mean, I'd rather put nice ones that are brighter, you know, like LED or halogen or something like that, that's brighter, because then it makes the car more enjoyable. You know, it's kind of like pulling a generator off and putting an alternator on metal. It's just so much more enjoyable that way. It makes it more reliable, and it's just simpler, and it just makes it, you know, run and drive better. And plus it actually, you know, makes it safer too, you know, because it's got brighter headlights and everything else. So, but yeah, we're not going to run them T3 at all. That's one thing that, you know, I'm not picky about. And we're definitely, like I mentioned before, we are not running that single brake master cylinder on this car either. This car is going to get a dull. And just like metal there, I'm not certain things, you know, like the alternator, upgrading our dual master cylinder, and upgrading our ignition system to HEI. You know, those things are, you know, that's kind of necessary. You know, makes it so much more enjoyable. But anyway, got the trim, just rambling on here. I got my bushing driver set in, which is nice. I like it. And it's only $30 too, so they're nice. So it's got a bushing, well, a wheel bearing slash wheel bearing race driver set. So I got that. I mean, you can drive seals in too, so that makes it really nice. So anyway, I went ahead and bought that a little while back for my Durangos, where I actually needed it. But I ended up renting it up there at the parts place, and then I took that one back, and I liked it so much that I found one that was cheaper on eBay, and that was only $30, and that's worth every penny. But the Durango is, I'm gonna say, it is 100% done as far as, you know, being able to drive it back and forth. That part's done. It is inspected finally, thank God. That was a pain in the fucking ass, but it is finally inspected, and so all that good stuff is taken care of, thank God. So now I'm finally I'm out of that red truck over there, and I can finally park it now. It's been parked for a few days now, and I can take my time, and because I got to do the rear brakes on it. It needs rear brake shoes, and these rear drums, and needs tires on it, plus it needs alignment, and we're going to straighten that thing back out. And I'm going to try and find a fender for the driver's side where it got messed up, and try and either find a better cab, or, you know, I'm gonna try and start kind of piecing that together a little bit. It needs a tailgate and a rear bumper and grill too, and a door on the passenger side. But that truck, it's just, I'm gonna try and, you know, do what I can with it, and then I think I might start, as long as my Durango here holds up, which it should. I'm gonna start looking for a F-150 full drive frame, and we're gonna start building it. That'd be kind of cool. And I'll find a 454 and find a turbo 400. We're gonna build it up, so that'd be kind of cool. But I gotta find a F-150 full drive long bed frame first, like from the 80s and on back, 70s, 80s, and that kind of era. But yep, it's on the road. Got to inspect it. Tomorrow I got an appointment to get the front end alignment done. We're gonna get all that good stuff done, and then that way don't eat my tires up, and then driving it around a little bit, enjoying it, and oh, it's so much better. It's such a huge relief. Huge relief. I'm just glad it's on the road now, and finally got something that's, you know, reliable, and it's paid for, so that makes it nice. And that will be it. So that's a couple little updates here. Got to drag it out a little bit, but yeah, I got to do a little research on this trim here. I'm not quite sure. Got to be missing something there. I think it's holes underneath that windshield. Probably if I took the windshield out and got all that old weather stripping out and clean it up, I could probably find them screw holes. But it's got to be screw holes there somewhere. Not quite sure on that. So anyway, if I had a giant question mark on the sheet metal there's another question mark out there. So if anybody knows, you know, if they could show me how this correctly installs, or if it's, you know, something I'm doing wrong, but I'd like to have a picture of how it correctly installs there. I'm gonna look through my shop manual. But anyway, that's where we're at, and oh dang, this is gonna be nice. Heck yeah, I can finally start on this too. So the plan is to wrap up this front end here. I'm gonna get the Chevrolet emblem here, get our V, we'll replace that, get our windshield chrome pieces, get them, and then once we get our door and the radiator support in, I'll get the valance and this lower valance, and then I'm gonna try and, like I said, get headlight buckets for it and get the bezels, find ones that are better anyway. And then I think at that point we'll probably take a break from this for a little bit, because this will make it complete 100% on the outside. Now, yes, I will have to get a windshield yet, but that will be in time. That's something that I'm gonna have to kind of think that out a little bit, because they're about $300-400, and I'm gonna try it. I might, if I can get one locally, I will. If not, I'll just have it shipped. But that I might wait on until the car's truly ready at that point. But then again, I don't want to wait too long, and then they just keep going up and up in price. They're already about $300-400. They're not cheap. But anyway, that's still up in the air on that. But I want to get this wrapped up, and then I'm probably going to mess around, like I said, with my C10 here, and hopefully I can find a frame, because I want to find a 70s to 80s, maybe possibly 90-ish F-150 long bed full drive frame to take that cab and front clip and all that body off and put that over on it. Now I'll have to make the cab mounts and all that. It's going to be a lot of custom work to make it work. But I think the biggest issue out of everything is going to be the steering box, because I want to retain the original steering wheel all the way down to the original steering column. And I'll have to modify the shift linkage, which I don't care about that. But the biggest issue is getting that steering column, the factory steering column, to mount up to this power steering box on the Ford, because the Ford is moved back further. It's not, instead of being on the front of the frame like the Chevrolet here, it's the steering box is all the way back in here on this area. So I got to figure that out, and then the lug pattern. So, and I don't like adapters. I'm not running wheel adapters. I don't like those. To me, they're not really safe in my opinion. And I don't like the wheels spaced out. And to me, it looks goofy. So anyway, I got to figure out them two things, and then I think once we kind of have a solution to that and get it through that, I think it's going to be a beautiful truck then. I really do. But I love the F-150 frames. They're just so much better than the Chevrolets. They really are. But anyway, y'all take care. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe.